like that. All right, here we are, full of adventure. This is our winner takes all 2023, our first pitch event of the year for Founders Pack. We're joined by some esteemed colleagues who I have on the screen, and then we also have in the waiting room 6 pitch companies. So we over-indexed a little bit. We thought we would be under. So first off, thank you to everyone for joining. I'm going to go, let's see, what's the best way to start here? Why don't I go from my top and then we'll go down? Is that good? First, we have the man, the myth, the legend. Everyone's going to respond to that, right? Ethan Austin from Outside VC. Ethan, how are you doing?
I am good. Thanks for having me on.
No problem.
I don't know what I'm doing. Outside VC.
Yeah, that would be a smart idea.
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, totally, sure. Outside VC, we were a $10 million pre-seed fund. We're writing first checks into companies. Usually when there's like a friends and family round, we're writing 100K to 250K checks into what I call outsider founders. That's underrepresented founders, immigrants, women, LGBTQ, veterans, sometimes first-time founders, people who've been overlooked a lot of times by traditional VC. We're putting first checks into the companies, and we're focusing on financial inclusion as a space. So like the way we think of it is how do we make the financial system work better for everyone? Mission of the firms, how do we lift up 100 million people into the middle classes over the next 10 years?
I love it. That is amazing. I think that is a great segue into the person that's just below you on my screen. I don't know about everybody else, but Amber Illig from the council. How are you?
Great. Thank you so much for having me, Michael. And that's really hard to follow that mission, Ethan. That's awesome. But I am the general partner at the Council Fund. We're a $5 million venture fund focused on pre-seed and seed stage companies. We write checks of 50K to 100K. We may at some point scale up to 250K with our checks. We love backing proven operators as they're spinning out to disrupt legacy industries. And when I say legacy industries, I really mean healthcare, commerce, transportation, supply chain, manufacturing, construction. These are areas that throughout my career as an operator, I saw were not getting the same level of attention as the core tech industry. And so I want to see better tools being designed in those areas. I also lead an all-female group of angel investors. I invest in all genders, all races, and I also have LPs of all backgrounds. But on the investment side, a lot of our co-investors are all female. So I'd love to bring some of the best operators from tech and bring them onto cap tables with me, and then also introduce them to founders so they can be helpful. We've got people from Stripe, Slack, Square, Airbnb, you name it. So that's something special we have going for us on the side.
Amazing. And we're really excited to have you with us, Amber. So this is great. And not to be forgotten, the other man, the myth, the legend, my good friend, OG Arabian Prince. How are you today?
Always amazing. How about you?
Excellent, excellent. Especially now that we're here. I don't know if you want to give a little background about what you're working on and who you are.
Yeah, Arabian Prince, one of the founding members of the rap group NWA, but been in the tech space for 41 years. CEO of a new medical metaverse company that we're working on, and also CEO of a company called Driven Performance, where we're building the first ever carbon neutral racetracks for electric vehicles. Doing that and always building tech. As a matter of fact, we're building technology centers for inner city kids around the world right now. Just finished one in South LA called the Solar Beehive, and just put almost 100 computers in the Inglewood School District. So yeah, just doing a bunch of cool stuff.
That is amazing. All right. So the format here is we have 6 tech founders, or not always tech founders, but 6 founders backstage. And each of them has staked $100 on their startup pitch today. And the idea is that, like in real world, if you can't invest $100 in yourself, how's someone going to invest $1 million in you? So they have, and basically the winner at the end will take the pot. I'm going to go in order as follows, and we'll just introduce them briefly. We have it running along the bottom. So today we have Matt from Safestamp. He'll be followed by Marinella from Zumma. We have Abdul from Future Condos. Then we have Dana from Gametree, Leah from HPEC, and then batting cleanup, and not to be forgotten, is Maxine from Pick My Brain. So I think what we'll do, guys, we'll pull them on. Let's start out with Matt. Matt, how are you doing today?
I'm all right. I'm traveling, so apologize for the bad lighting, but I'm ready to go.
Awesome. All right. So what do you think, guys? Should we just put Matt at the center? Because you're going to present as well, right, Matt?
Yeah, I'm not going to present any.
Oh, you're just going to pitch.
I won't present the video unless there's a question about it.
Okay.
I'm
No
just gonna run my mouth.
That helps too. All right. So actually what I'll do is I'm going to leave everybody on if you're good with it, Matt. We
Yeah.
haven't quite got this mastered unless we have solo layout. Let's see what that looks like. See if this works better. There we go. Oh, Matt, you are on stage. Can you still hear me?
I sure can.
Okay, Matt. So we're going to give you 1 to 2 minutes. You decide whether it's 1 to 2 by pitching. And you just let me know when you're ready to go and you can roll.
All right. On 3, 1, 2. When I was in Iraq as a special operations soldier, I got to wondering how these bagger groups have so much money. It turns out they do something called pharmaceutical counterfeiting. They would sell these fake pills to pharmacies around the world, and these pharmacies would sell them as a real thing and mark them up. It was a great deal for them. Interpol says it kills 1 million people. I didn't think too much of it other than it sounded evil. I went to Wharton MBA after the Army. I noticed the foreign students buying vitamins and medicine in Philadelphia, sending them home to their families, asked them why. Counterfeiting again. I started looking at the counterfeiting problem. Pharmaceutical counterfeiting costs pharma firms $200 billion per year, and total counterfeiting of all goods as of last year, according to Forbes, over $4 trillion. So I've been obsessed with this since 2015. I left MBA. I recruited a team of the best scientists in the world. We invented something called Safestamp. Safestamp's an indicator. It goes on product packaging. The customer themselves touches it. It changes colors and reveals a pattern. This sort of technology is extremely discreet. We're the only ones in the world that know how to do it, and we've patented it. So it's the perfect anti-counterfeiting device. So we're selling it to these companies to help them capture back the revenue they lose to counterfeiters. That's why people are lining up at the door for us. We've got a written deal with a vape company, a written deal with the whole government of Ghana. They're pushing us on all their industries. We're in talks with a major multinational pharma company. We're in talks with a major fashion company. And we've actually raised $2.1 billion. We did another $750K. We have a good deal out of that, given our exit opportunities. And that'll get us to the point where we can start producing and start officially selling, because our factory is being totally subsidized with forgivable loans by an industry group in Texas. It's going to be made in America. It's going to save 1 million lives. It's MATT@SAFESTAMP.com, and happy to answer any questions.
Amazing. All right. Now I got to figure out how to not kick you from the studio and change the view here. Let's see if it works. Oh, it did work. Great. I am like a wizard now at this StreamYard. All right. Why don't we start with Amber Illig? Do you have any questions for Matt?
Yeah, I'm curious to learn more about your sales cycle. How are you selling into these customers that you have, and how long does it typically get them to sign a contract?
Well, it's okay. These are non-binding LOIs because on our end, we can't bind until we break ground in the factory. But funny story, literally 0 of them we've reached out to. They've all heard me through word of mouth through Warren. If you go to my website, www.safestamp.com, you can. It's a terrible website. You can barely tell what we're selling. So people, I'm getting to a point. People are so desperate for a solution to this that they're finding me and coming to me, including Johnson & Johnson, Louis Vuitton. The reason is twofold, if I may. One is people are addressing this counterfeiting problem 2 ways. One, they're doing supply chain management. Well, guess what? The retailers, they're in on the counterfeiting. You don't have to pay the full price for the product. You buy the fake stuff, you sell the same price, you get a much better deal, right? So supply chain management does nothing if it doesn't, people don't put in the order, right? It doesn't go down the supply chain. Number 2 is what we're doing is end user. Every single type of end user technology on the market, look it up. We have tons of stuff in this data room, has been counterfeited. Holograms, counterfeited. These texting apps, counterfeited. We have this sophisticated nanotechnology developed by us. We're the only people in the world that know how to do it. That's why it's taken me since 2015. That's why I've liquidated all my assets. I gave my last $100 to this guy. I'm going to leave this with hopefully another 400. So that'll my income. But no, in all seriousness, it's been a wild ride, but the product is finally out of the lab, and we are ready to go.
Amazing. Ethan, do you have any questions for Matt?
Yeah. What? That's awesome. Super exciting. What was the moment? It's been a long journey, right? What was the moment you knew before anyone else did that this was going to be a success?
When I saw what the other people were doing, I smelled blood. Like they had no conception of what the crux of the problem was, and the crux of the problem is you need the customer of the product, the final end user, we call it, to use it. And everyone, like 85% of this is being done with like a blockchain supply chain, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't do anything because the retailers don't do anything. The ones that are like super complicated. No one wants to look at it, right? No one wants to hold some weird hologram up and try to figure it out. We have studies, they only even bother to check 40% of the time. And when they do, it's easy to make something that kind of looks like that. So I developed something with two strengths. One, the sophisticated nanopolymer that no one else can build, right? That was, frankly, some luck there that it worked because I took a huge risk, but it was working now. And number two is design friendly, user friendly, right? It's fun to touch something and reveal some secret pattern and colors. It grabs people and creates that pull factor that'll force the retailers to buy from the counterfeiters. Also, we were invited to Obama's birthday party. That was pretty cool. While he was president in the White House, that showed some external validation.
There you go. All right, OG, do you have any questions for Matt?
Yeah. So you were saying that the retailers, are buying counterfeits because it's cheaper and they can resell it. How do you get the retailers to now buy the real product, even if you have the stamp on it?
There's precedent for this. You have to, there will be a reach out to the customers themselves to have them look for this, right? To make it work. Now, there's something called Sproxel. You can go to their website. They were able to increase one of their clients' sales by, I believe it was 85 or 400%, some incredible number before they were counterfeited. That's their case study. They leave out before they're counterfeited. And the reason I'm disclosing a competitor's website is you go there and there's a nice little hotline where you can report, oh, they've counterfeited our Sproxel codes, so take these off the market. You won't see that with Safestamp because we're this, crazy new nanotechnology.
Perfect. Thank you.
I would also add, so when I started this, I thought this was going to be actually a huge challenge, or not a huge challenge, but a challenge where we had to develop our own internal
I
marketing.
just took advantage that my mic was off, so.
Developing internal marketing for this. And we did, and we will. But every customer that's come to us from, I don't want to name the names on the internet, but every one of them has their own plan to market to end users to get these retailers to buy it. So that's
Thank you, Matt,
that I didn't plan for. Thank you so much.
Awesome job, and thanks for kicking it off. All right, guys, we're gonna pick up here Marinella from Zumma, and I think she's got 6 screens going on. I can't figure out which one to add. So, is this your screen there, Marinella? Looks right. Oh no, see, we have so many Marinellas on here. I can't keep track.
I was having technical problems.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm a visual person, so I'm gonna try to show slides. If they don't work, then we won't.
If you can't change it, there is a next slide button on there, and if you can't, just tell me next. Oh, you got it. There we go. You're in good shape. All right, Marinella, when you are ready, you may start.
Perfect. All right. So less than 1% of women in Latin America invest their savings. Less than 1%. This compares to almost 50% of women in the United States who do. And even though women in the region tend to administer their family's finances, most of them have their savings in checking accounts and under the mattress. Yes, under the mattress. Women in the region control $1.4 trillion today, but they continue to be overlooked. And although a Fidelity study showed that they tend to get slightly better results than men, they still don't feel confident when investing, hindering their ability to grow their wealth. And that is where Zumma comes in. Zumma is the first wealth tech platform that guides Latin American women through their financial journey while rewarding them for saving and investing. Our goal is to reduce the financial gender inequality gap in the region through technology. Through a small subscription, women will be rewarded for managing and tracking their expenses, saving for their goals, and investing in personalized portfolios of equities and fixed income. My name is Marinella, and I'm one of the co-founders of Zumma. We are a woman-led team with experience in financial services and growing fintech startups. We believe that financial independence and financial security empowers women, and that an empowered woman will change the world. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Marinella. All right. Who did I start with last time? Was it Amber? I think so.
Yeah, it was me.
Easton this time, or Ethan. Sorry, I just made a new name for Ethan. Ethan Austin is now Easton. Ethan, do you have any questions, Marinella?
Yeah, sure. Why now? Why is the right now is the right time to do this?
Thank you for your question. So if you go back to 2019, at least in Mexico, which is one of the biggest economies in Latin America after Brazil, there were only 200,000 brokerage accounts in the country. Mainly because there wasn't the technology for your day-to-day people to invest, but also because people didn't necessarily know there wasn't that culture. Fast forward to today, the pandemic has exacerbated a behavioral shift in the region with more people paying attention to their finances. So from only 200,000 accounts in 2019, we've seen a growth to almost 3 million accounts. Keep in mind that this is a country of 130 million people. So we're seeing this growth exponentially, and we see this to continue to grow to almost 60 million accounts in the next couple of years. And so this represents a huge growth opportunity and the biggest growth opportunity in the region. And so when people ask me, I always say we are in the region, we are like in the US 10, 15 years ago, where a lot of the innovation was happening in the space. And so we're here to ride that wave and make that change and do something better for all women in the region and all families in the region.
Amazing. OG Arabian Prince, do you have any questions for Marinella?
Yeah, definitely. Where are you building the actual tech, the app itself?
Where meaning?
Where is your tech team located?
Oh, so we are all in Mexico right now. My tech team is in-house. We're building app first. Let me see if I can. Oh, you can't see my screen anymore. But we are app first. Our CTO is an expert in machine learning and has also brought tech teams from pre-seed to unicorn companies before. So everything we're doing it in-house. We're tech first.
Perfect. Thank you.
Amazing. Amber, do you have questions for Marinella?
Yes. So in the States, I know we have a lot of different apps that target different groups of people when it comes to consumer investing and saving. So I'm curious to understand, what's the landscape like in Latin America? Who are your top competitors? And what do you think is most different about you?
Yeah. So you have to understand, in Latin America, the ecosystem is pretty new. 2019, there were only 2 incumbents in the region. Right now, we are seeing a few more, right? But when we look at the incumbents, we see it 2 ways, right? We see the Robin Hoods of Latin America, for a lack of a better word, and we see the savings neobank, with only one other player that is playing in the beginner investor passive investing side. When we look at women focused companies, we see them all in the education space, credit or wallet. We don't see that many in the wealth tech space. So in that, we are not only different, but we also position ourselves to help this population that it's not being helped, and to help them from essentially understanding their financial journey to allowing them to save and invest for their goals.
Amazing. All right. I think we got everybody. Marinella, thank you so much for your presentation. And we're excited to keep following your journey no matter what. But we will see how you fare in the winner takes all. I'm going to remove Marinella now, all of her, because you've got many, many Marinellas on here. There we go. All right, we're back to just us, everyone. All right, so next we have Abdul from Future Condos. And if I screwed up anything there, I got everyone in, right? So we're good. Okay, good. Abdul, how are you?
Very well. Thanks for having me.
Anytime. Are you presenting anything, or are we just going to put you on screen?
Yeah, I'm going to present.
Okay. Oops, it helps if I put him in there.
You guys see my screen okay?
Yeah, for some reason it's putting me on, which is not what we want. There we go. Are you sharing?
Yes, do you see it?
No. Did you hit present?
I did.
This is user error on my part, probably. No, wrong one. Why is it not coming up? I see Gametree. There you are. My bad.
No problem. You see it now?
Yep, we're good. My apologies.
Perfect, no problem. Well, thank you very much. My name is Abdul Al Janabi. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Future Condos. And today I'd like to tell you about the future of pre-construction homes. Now, as a real estate investor or a new home buyer, if you want to buy a pre-construction unit, it's still complicated, time-consuming, and super stressful because you don't know where you can find these properties. You have to speak with so many different vendors and brokers and sales offices just to gather this inventory, and you know three is there's a lot of manual user calculations, and you're not sure what steps to take to actually acquire that unit. Now, the current process right now, the traditional way of buying and selling pre-construction homes looks like this. As you can see, it's super stressful, inefficient, and very expensive and time consuming. I'm not going to go into details and explaining what that mess looks like, but it's very paper heavy, longer timelines, and there's a lot of different people involved in the middle, which may break the deal for you. What we're suggesting simply is the frictionless experience. Now, the frictionless experience looks something like this. It's a linear experience. As a customer, you come on the platform, you would conduct your search, you put in your investment criteria, how much is your budget, the location, do you want prime locations, sub areas, and then we actually using our own, I do not want to say AI, but our own algorithm to actually find properties, top 3 properties on your behalf, and then we handle all the logistics. For example, like we verify your ID, government ID. That's for the KYC. We also get you pre-approved, same day pre-approval. We do that with RBC partners, and then we also take care of the whole legal process all in one friction. So it would look something like this. 5 steps you actually buy your unit. You do your smart search. You would apply for your same day pre-approval, and we partner with RBC more on this on the second slide. And then the third is you actually pick your unit. Use our user-friendly, unit configuration, bedroom level, view, locker, add-ons, and then you reserve your unit. And then finally you sign and seal, and then you own that title now. Congratulations. Now, we partner with RBC because we're able to actually provide our customers with the same day pre-approval rather than it takes 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or even a month to get your actual, your funding and financing in order. RBC was able to get a maximum up to 2 days, if anything. And as well as hosting 4 webinars, we have 4 webinars scheduled on first one is February, where we would create educational content of the buyer's financing options, as well as how to buy pre-construction condos on Future Condos. Now, I know a lot of you asking, is this a big enough market? The good thing is the supply is very consistent in terms of growth. Last year, and I'm talking about Canada's market only, but that's not only the market that we're penetrating. It's about 337 new homes were under construction in 2021, and that's predicted to be 500,000 plus in the next 5 years. I know a lot of questions. Why now is the timing right? One thing I could tell you is that this is the perfect time because as mortgage rates go up, the interest rates are 7-8%. A lot of buyers are hesitant to actually buy into resale as an investment vehicle because they would lose all their cash on the interest rates. And so when buying pre-construction, you don't need to worry about mortgage rates 3, 4, 5 years down the line until closing. And then the second reason is, a lot of investors who have cash in the bank, they need a more sustainable asset class, meaning they don't want to put their money on cryptocurrencies. They don't want to buy a resale home. They don't want to keep it in the bank. And stock options, usually, if they're not buying blue chips, it's probably very risky for them. So, pre-construction seems to be a really decent vehicle for them. And the last but not least, as the market declines, new home builders are seeking for a more efficient and faster way to sell their condos without the actual overall headache and cost operations, which Future Condos sales channel would actually provide for them.
Amazing.
Now, the traction, 2 more slides. My apologies if I'm over time. 2 more slides. With a traction under 6 months of beta, and this is pure beta, we have actually processed 4 condo deals processed fully on the platform, worth of $2.6 million. And then we have 31 condo deals right now currently in the pipeline. Some of them will fall through, some of them will close. but total value of 17 million, and the total revenue was 23,000 in revenue. Now we're generous with this revenue. We actually left a lot of money on the table, and we know that our core value here is to make sure that the process works, the system, the ecosystem works as intended. And how we make money is very simple. Actually, let's not go through this because that needs some time to explain, but we charge annual memberships for agents plus commission on the deals, and we provide them with leads, access, and then for the non-believers, we charge them per lead if they don't believe, to commit with us for the year, for 2 weeks only. And right now, for this year's revenue, based on
I'm going to cut you off there, Abdul, because we're probably way over. And we're going to go right to questions if you're okay with that. I apologize.
Yeah, for sure.
OG, let's start with you. I think is up next. Do you have any questions for Abdul?
You going for me first?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So in this new year of the downturn in the market right now, everything is down, from crypto to real estate to everything else. How do you think that's going to affect you this year and make you reevaluate, your slides and things like that?
Sorry, you were cutting off. If you don't mind just repeating that question.
Oh, yeah. And this downturn of real estate right now, how do you think that's going to affect you going forward?
Well, actually, I don't think this is really going to affect us so much, just because we're a mediator in the middle. So it's either a buyer's market or a seller's market. We manage the supply and demand at the same time. But one thing I know for sure, that this is not a buyer's market, not a seller's market. It's an investor's market, right? A lot of people would want to put their money in a proper, steady vehicle, and pre-construction seems to be the only thing that could push or defer all these risks that's going to happen in the next 2 or 3 years, because then the mortgage rates will drop down, interest rates will be stable again, and then they would have an asset to sit on, bypassing the inflation.
Amber, do you have any questions for Abdul?
Yes. So thank you for that. For reference, I was at a prop tech startup right before I went full time into VC. So have seen a little bit of this, and I'm curious. It seems like you're doing some handholding for customers to help them get through the process as they're buying a pre-construction home. And I'm curious how you think about designing a scalable product versus running a business where the cost scales at the same rate as the revenues coming in, especially when it comes to your team and how you're designing their operations.
Right.
So product.
Absolutely. So we're not a brokerage right now. All the operations are outsourced. That's included in the model that we built, meaning we use a lot of real estate agents as Uber drivers, if you will. So they actually do all the selling. They take the customers, but then they put them through the process, and the system allocates the buyer as needed to the mortgage pre-approval, to the buying, but then everything else is an end-to-end in the system. So it's hands-off for us. It's super scalable. And then for a lot of real estate agents, it makes sense because we're saving them so much time and money on marketing, and we're making their job a lot easier.
Awesome. Ethan, do you have any questions for Abdul?
Yeah, what's the hardest part of the business for you all? Like the hardest thing to do, whether it's tech or otherwise, that makes it hard for others to replicate?
Definitely securing all the supply. The supply is kind of difficult because you have to source that. You have to build relationships with the builders first, and then make sure that the entire building has different structures to fit that in. Luckily for us, we built multiple models to make sure that townhome communities, if it's horizontal or high rises, all fit very well. Also with the price range, I think a lot of people would spend years to figure that out.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, Abdul. And thank you, judges. We're halfway through now. We're going to go to Dana from Gametree. I think Dana's also got her slides up already. So I figured this machine out. I just got to figure out how to move up the presenter a little better, but that would be better. I'm going to try one thing. All right. Let's see if it works. Nope, it doesn't.
You tried. Hi, everyone.
When you're ready, you can go.
Okay, I will probably start from small introduction. My name is Dana Sidorenko. I'm Ukrainian, and I also war veteran in Ukraine. And from last 7 years, I've been working with startup and businesses. I'm finishing my MBA in University of Chicago. And my previous company, I built from start to $55 million revenue in less than 3 years. And the last few years, I've been working with Gametree, and Gametree is a data-driven gamer network. So we built the best app in gaming industry for matching gamers. And over time, we're receiving a lot of requests to become more like Gamer Social Network. I originally decided to develop Gametree because I've played games all my life. And growing up, most of my relationship was built through games. So as I become an adult, I thought I could find community and friends online through games. So I go online, and the only criteria that exists was age, sex, and location. And we all know it's not enough to meet friends. And not only there was no community, but there also was harassment, toxicity, and people were telling me to go kill myself. As a female gamer, we especially affected. A woman like me, we love games, but very often we even don't use a mic in the game. Like 70% of female gamers hide their gender in the game because we're afraid of being harassed, belittled for our gender. And gaming used to be fun and meaningful when you played with friends. But instead, it led me into that depressed environment, and it got to the point when I actually even stopped playing. Then I realized it wasn't just me. It wasn't just the toxicity. The whole gaming system was become broken. And the problem that I had, it wasn't just my problem. It's the problem that 3.2 billion gamers have every day. 68% of gamers experience physical threat or stalkiness or harassment. And if you not play games, you might not think it's a big problem, but these gamers are your kids, your friends, your colleagues, and you don't want them to be lonely, isolated, or depressed. And Big Studio actually can't solve this problem because it's kind of outside of gaming. It's more in people and gamer psychology. So along the way, we spent 1,000 hours to study psychology, and we developed Gametree, is AI-driven iOS, Android, desktop, and web app. We already in the market with 500,000 signups and only 20,000 marketing spends total. We're #1 in Google in find friends, find gamer friends, find gamers, find people play with. We support all games and all platforms. Our AI has 93% of accuracy, and our desktop app is the only one app in all gaming industry that has curated on-demand hangouts with a voice calling, with the only one app in gaming that focus on deeply understanding and curate gaming relationship. So our algorithm use huge amount of unique data. For provide good matches, we use more than 100 different data points. We collected through personal psychology test, value test, gamer DNA test, and it becomes so big that Enthusiast Gaming, which is the biggest gamer news network, tried to acquire Gametree and said that after 7 months of study of the market, we have the most data of individual gamers in whole gaming industry. So we raising 2.5 million with 12 million valuation. We have 1 million remaining. Our lead investors right now, it's Corazon Capital, which is the best people in matching. They have CEO of, who was CEO of All Match Group. They have CMO who was CMO of Tinder for like 15 years, and they're gonna lead in this round. In the end, I just wanna add that years ago, I faced the problem without any good solution, and now we built literally the best app to fix it. And there's still billion gamers like me who still feel lonely and depressed, and we know how to fix it. We know how to find them. We know how to speak with them. And it's just our way to make gaming industry and all world better.
Amazing. Thank you, Dana. Okay, we're going to start with Amber. Do you have any questions for Dana?
Yes, this is super exciting and awesome product, and incredible to hear your traction.
So
I'm curious, how do you make money? Are you already gathering revenue now, or what's the plan?
we start monetizing our app actually in Q1 this year. So we just we have 3 main source of income. First is highly targeting advertisement and targeting by itself. So we have a partnership with Overwolf, which is huge gaming company. They deliver billions advertisement every month. They have millions daily active users, and they actually pay us a grant, $80,000 to add our app for the ecosystem. And they did it to target, to use, to deliver advertisement through us, and also use our data to help them target advertisement better. So the partnership looks like they're going to send us a lot of traffic. We're going to help them target advertisement better and have money from targeting these ads. Because again, we collect so many data of our users, and our users, it's not like we're sneaking on them. They volunteer us all of this data because the value proposition that we create, they understand that providing more data will help them curate people better around them, and not just people, but also news and products and games and stuff like that. So this is highly targeting advertisement and targeting. It's one of the monetization model that we have. We also have a freemium that will add subscription in few months. And the last piece is curation as a service. So we have few pilots that we launched with a big different gamer company, and we just basically curate gamers in that platforms. Because like one of the pilots, let's say we have with the Legion Farm, it's a company that curate pro gamers with the students who want to play more professional. And we find 100% correlation. If you like person who's gonna coach you, you spend twice more time on the platform. And Legion Farm, they already have 12 million annual revenue. They have $650 per user for a year. And we can literally like double it.
Ethan, do you have any questions for Dana? Oop, your volume might be off.
I'm on mute. Sorry, I'm an idiot. Congrats so far. Say hi to Sam for me. How did y'all, like, congrats on like the growth. How did you guys grow so fast?
How we what? Sorry.
How do you grow so quickly?
So
Like,
it
really
might
great growth so
sound
far.
arrogant, but we're literally like the best in what we're doing. And we create this like Gametree, well known as non-toxic gaming community. And toxicity, we run few studies in Gametree and in non-Gametree gamers to find what the biggest need in gaming industry. And we find, and like by far toxicity and play with less toxic people was #1 need in all industries. So by providing this value, it's basically like game changer for many. And one of the things that also help us, because I'm Ukrainian, Gametree long time been in Ukraine, and we was very cost effective. So we built all of the app with only $500,000, and build the same in the US or in Silicon Valley will cost like I don't know how many times more. So it was cost effective. We find a perfect market. Being in Ukraine helped a lot. We know what we're doing because all of our team is a gamer, and we just literally like that. That's pretty much it, and more of that. So we kind of get viral.
I'm gonna go into the next person.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
OG, do you have any questions for Dana?
Yeah, I'll keep it quick. How are you handling security and keeping all of the trolls out from ruining your platform?
I love that one. So basically, we have few algorithms inside that connected with reputation. We have dozen of moderator and that like going through apps and filtering the people. We also have some sort of ban system, so we know like in a technical level we have protection, and mostly it's also community. So each profile has on backup reputation, and we tracking users' behavior in platform and outside of the platform. So we combine. We allow user to combine more than 17 different social networks to your profile, and we tracking human behaviors. And each profile has reputation behind. So after play session, we can say which people get along better, which person don't really match with the other one, and you can also report other users, and mostly volunteers and moderators keep the platform clean.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Dana. I'm going to take you off the screen now, and we are going to go to our second last, but not forgotten, Leah. Oh my goodness, there you are. And then I don't think you have a deck up, correct?
I have a deck.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Do you want to share it? Is it on the screen?
Sure. Let me hit the share button here. Let's see. Screen sharing. Share. Oh, wow. It doesn't let me just share part of my screen. I have to do the whole thing. Oh, yeah. It does a window. Perfect. Okay. You guys see it?
1 second, and I will add it. There we go. And unfortunately, I've never figured out how to get your face in there properly. So you're kind of like eye level. Let me see if I can remove something. Yeah, let me try one quick thing.
You can remove me.
Do you mind?
No one wants to see me.
And then I'll put you back.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I'll put you back in. There we go.
Cool.
I can remove me, but that might be a problem. But all right. Leah, feel free to begin when you are ready.
Awesome. So my name is Dr. Leah Houston. I am an emergency physician, and I'm solving a problem for myself and my colleagues that we all experience. And it's around identity and credential management, but it's a lot more than that. And this disclaimer is here because we're planning a crowdfund. And so we are not currently selling securities yet. And so this is basically about the fact that the healthcare system sucks. We all agree, you know, this is how we feel. Both doctors and patients feel this squeeze in this horrible system. You know, doctors are no longer independent. We're employed. We're sick of being micromanaged, and we're actually quitting medicine at a faster rate than ever predicted. So the big quit or the great resignation, the thing that we're all seeing and feeling everywhere, is actually hitting medicine too. And so what we're doing to fix this problem is we're automating workforce mobility for practicing doctors, making it easier for them to move from place to place. Most people don't realize, but from the day I'm hired to the day I graduate, it takes 4 to 6 months, and it's a $5 billion process every year for me to be able to be identified and credentialed before I can actually start working in hospitals. And so we have an open standards-based decentralized identity system that allows each practicing physician to essentially own their professional digital identity and their digital credentials in order to authenticate their identity and move freely for workforce mobility. And so we have 2 interoperable products that are both built on these open standards. We have EverCred that issues and authenticates identifying information. And this happens at the time that you're graduating from medical school, at the time that you're actually issued your license. So this is a very upstream solution and compared to the current solutions to this problem that are all downstream and manual. And so HPEC is actually the digital identity wallet that gives doctors control over their professional credentials so that they can control their right to work and move freely. And so these 2 systems combined can solve the workforce mobility and credentialing problem while also creating a foundational layer to essentially usurp multiple avenues throughout our $4.2 trillion healthcare system, of which, if you think about it, the physician controls the flow of 80% of that capital with the stroke of our pen. And so I want to also point out that this isn't just an identity wallet. This isn't just a credentialing solution. This is actually a peer-to-peer connection layer. It's a referral network for independent doctors to refer patients to each other so that we can practice independently. And so, interestingly enough, this effort has been fully funded by the physician community so far. Close to 400 physicians invested $800,000 on a crowdfund to make this possible. And we use that to design, develop, and launch our mobile application that now has close to 1,000 physician members representing over 100,000 patients. And so this tool has the ability to combat burnout, fraud, waste, abuse, and to allow the practicing doctors to uphold their Hippocratic oath that they took, which currently they're having a hard time doing in the current system. And so this is the system that we're building. Oops. Oops. Wow. That's going to the, sorry. This is the rest of the presentation when it's longer than 2 minutes that I usually share. But long story short, we're building a better system and we're asking you to join us. And that's it.
Amazing. I'm going to add.
Sorry, that was the one I wanted to show you.
Oh, there. I'm sorry. Here. Let's all get a good view of this slide because I actually.
Yeah, I don't know how I skipped that, but cool. Okay.
All right. We all need wider screens or something.
Mhm.
Yeah, thank you so much. That was excellent. Okay, let me think. I think we have Ethan is up first. So Ethan, do you have any questions for Lee?
Yeah, if I'm a doctor and I'm burnt out right now, like what does my life look like now, and what does it look like after using this product? If I'm a doctor that's using this product, like how's it different?
So right now, as a physician who's burnt out, there's hundreds of reasons that could be the case, but most of them center around being treated like a factory worker in a factory rather than a service provider. Being micromanaged, being told you have to click this button, you have to hurry up. If you don't see at least 40 patients today, we're going to dock your pay. We're not going to give you your bonus. It's very stressful when what we do is we're treating super complex medical problems. We're preventing death and permanent disability. It's not something that can be, commoditized in the way that the system has tried to commoditize it. And so the physician suicide rate is actually the highest of any profession. We have a higher suicide rate than prisoners. That's how bad it is. And so it's really hard to kind of explain this complex system, in such a short period of time, but doctors are leaving. They're leaving by dying by suicide, or they're leaving by quitting medicine altogether. I know an oculoplastic surgeon who's now a life coach. She makes more money than she did as an oculoplastic surgeon. She has control over her work-life balance. She misses taking care of patients, but she was being treated like crap and she left. And who can blame her? But people actually need oculoplastic surgeons. What are you going to do when you get a shard of glass in your eye on the highway when you have a car accident? You're going to have your eye enucleated now instead of repaired. That's what's actually happening every day. So, I guess, so the question was, how does this make it better? It's really the DAO component. It's the community component where we can help each other build our own private practices, invest in, physician-owned surgery centers, refer patients to each other as independent doctors rather than being forced to use whatever referral networks are being forced upon us by insurance companies and hospitals. Being able to collaborate and, fund efforts that serve us rather than the system.
Thank you. OG Arabian Prince, do you have any questions for Dr. Leah?
Yeah, I mean, I like this platform because I'm kind of dabbling in the medical space too, and I think it's really well needed. So does this also cover doctors if they plan on like traveling from state to state, to other networks, hospital networks and stuff like that as well?
So interestingly enough, we actually have a memorandum of understanding with a telefingerprinting company that has agreements to do cross-state fingerprinting licensing for state licenses. So that is one of our goals, to actually allow for true workforce mobility. And that is one of the avenues that we're exploring right now.
Yeah, because I often wondered why, if you're a licensed doctor in California, why can't you work in this state? There's no difference whatsoever except for, that as well. So, yeah, thank you.
So, yeah, I mean, you have a driver's license. You can use your Alabama driver's license in Indiana. Yeah. Why can't you use your medical license? Patients are the same. So a lot of this is very political. A lot of it has to do with money. People want to control, but a lot of it also has to do with some regulations around wanting to have safety issues. There's different laws and regulations in each state. And they want to make sure that the physicians are safe to practice in this state with our regulations. So, we do want to fund potential lobbying efforts with this DAO. So interstate medical licensing reciprocity is something that we as a physician community discuss that would help with the workforce mobility thing. So we're kind of tackling it from that angle, but also the telefingerprinting to automate the fingerprinting processes, which is one of the major bottlenecks to being able to get a rapid license in a new state.
Awesome. Thank you. Amber, do you have any questions for Dr. Leah?
Yeah, kind of a broad question, but what keeps you up at night and what's the biggest hurdle you think you have to get through in the next 18 months?
So the biggest hurdle is the fact that this is such a nascent space and we're doing this, this is the first time anybody's ever done this. As far as we know, as a company, we're first movers. And so it's going to take a lot of education and a lot of, it's a grassroots effort. What keeps me up at night? Maybe I shouldn't say this, but nothing. I know I'm doing the right thing. I know I'm working as hard as I can. And I'm seeing tremendous progress and tremendous support from the physician community. And so you know, I'm doing something to change it. We're doing something to change it. So if we get funded, I know we're going to be able to execute on this.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm going to take you out of the stream. Not forgotten though. Okay. All right. We are down to miraculously Maxine from Pick My Brain. And I think you already have your pitch deck up. I'm going to remove myself and.
Oh. No voice. Okay. Well, that was super inspiring, super passionate women. I love watching these pitch decks. But hi, I'm Maxine. I'm calling in from Pakistan right now. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, so I'm a little disheveled. But I am here to tell you about Pick My Brain. So Pick My Brain is a global knowledge sharing marketplace. And it came from a dream of mine and a question is, what if I could pick anyone's brain in the world and have a conversation with them? What opportunities would that unlock for me? And what if people could opt in to making themselves more open, available, and accessible to society with the right boundaries in place and let the world know that they are open to helping? What could we create with that? So that's what we built. So essentially, we help people buy knowledge, sell knowledge, and gift knowledge in new and profitable ways. And right now, we are raising $2.5 million to meet an overwhelming demand for this service. So problem right now, there's actually no easy way to buy, sell, or gift knowledge. There's quite a cumbersome process of building your own website, integrating a calendar, integrating payments, marketing yourself, running your own SEO. And I'm sure a lot of you have had, can I pick your brain? Can I take you for coffee? Can you mentor me? And you want to say yes, but there's no real formal place to do it. And doing it on your own is a lot of work. So we built a platform and a process that would make it really easy. We've built a profile that's basically like an advanced LinkedIn version, only instead of talking about just your resume, you talk about how you want to be of service to the world and let them know how they can book and pay you for your knowledge. We've gathered all those people into a marketplace. So you can go to this marketplace and browse with permission all of the people who opted in to wanting to share your knowledge. And then we wanted to make it as easy to book and buy knowledge as it is to buy products online. So we do this for people, so for professionals from all around the world, broad range, very diverse, from this former CEO of Upwork to a Holocaust survivor, to someone who witnessed the Egyptian revolution that wants to talk about it, to a nonlinear specialist. And we also are starting to build knowledge marketplaces for niche businesses. So we've got a pilot project with the NFL right now. Imagine if you could book a session with an NFL player, a retired NFL player for mentorship, or Fortune 100 companies could book them for the day. All the way to this Site K is a group of 10,000 registered subconscious reprogrammers who want to gather everyone that they've certified into a marketplace so that they can more easily monetize and show off the individuals that they've educated. They want to buy a knowledge marketplace. And lastly, we're starting to build knowledge marketplaces for universities. So I don't know about you guys, but I went and got my master's in economics and I finished with this beautiful master's and nobody connected me with any economists, despite having a huge alumni of economists. And so we're coming back. And now that I'm an alumni, my university only asks me for money and not time. So we're starting to go to these universities and be like, why don't you ask your alumni to give 10 hours of time, knowledge, and experience per year for your student? Organize it in a knowledge marketplace, and then build in actually credits for students who book alumni, because we all know that you're going to increase your chances of success. The more you network, the more you exchange with industry, and the more you expand your perspective to really understand what you're doing. Our vision for this is really to build an Amazon-sized marketplace, but no products. We think knowledge commerce is going to be the next e-commerce, and we want our brand to become known. When you see that, that means that that person is open to sharing their knowledge with you, both either for free or for a fee. Our mission, so Google's mission was to make the world's information more available, accessible, and useful to society. Pick My Brain's mission is to make the world's people more available, accessible, and useful to society. And we've seen by just asking people to gift 30-minute sessions, this unlocks a lot of commerce. And we've done just around $1 million worth of gifted and sold knowledge on our marketplace in the last 2 years. So traction-wise, we have 1,000 B2C individuals who have signed up on the profile and 10,000 people who have booked sessions with them. On the B2B side, we have around 10 pilots that we're building for niche marketplaces. And on the university, we've just signed our 5th university up to start building these alumni marketplaces. Business model, we have 3 different revenue streams. On the brain side, you can build a free Pick My Brain profile if you want to gift your knowledge. If you want to charge, you can upgrade to our paid plan, same price as Shopify. You want to build an e-commerce store, it's $300 a year. You want to build a knowledge commerce store, it's $300 a year. On the demand side, anyone can shop the marketplace, but we also have a member plan that gives you more access to all the free resources and our networking events. And then our B2B business model depends on how big your marketplace is, but ranges anywhere from $10,000 to $100,000 a year to build your own knowledge marketplace. Like I said, we're raising 2.5 that someone left recently. They described us as a library of living wisdom. It's where people are wanting to list their brain and where you can go to dive. It's a little medium.
I think we have a little bit of an internet issue with Maxine. Are you back?
Oh, I am. Yeah.
You're back. Okay. I'm going to just remove.
Did it?
That's all right. You want to have a final word there? I think we're back. Okay. I'm going to put Ethan in if I can find him. He moved around. There he is. Sorry. Did you have a final thing you wanted to say, Maxine, to wrap it up? No, she's frozen. Oh my goodness.
Oh, I just hope it didn't cut out too much. Oh,
no, we got. I think we got most of it.
Am I back?
Well, we can cover it in questions. Let me see.
Got most of it. Okay.
Yeah. I have OG Arabian Prince up first. Do you have any questions for Maxine?
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I'm always trying to ask questions of people that know more than me so I can get smarter. So I think it's an amazing platform as well. How do you think that the people who are spending the money, how do you think? Well, you know what? I take that back because I already see that. I like it. I don't have any more questions. I just answered my own questions. I'm good.
Okay, no worries. Amber, do you have any questions for Maxine?
First of all, awesome traction again. That's really awesome that, both on the B2C side, the B2B side, and then universities, you've got a lot going on there. I am curious about how you think about customer retention and what's the lifetime value of a customer that books a session on your platform. Do they book one for a specific topic and then never come back, or are you seeing them come back again and again?
Yeah. So on the B2C side, when we first started, Brains would attract their own demand and they would kind of facilitate their own bookings and do their own marketing. But when we became a marketplace that you could browse, and we started hosting networking events so everyone could meet. So once a month, everyone in our community gets invited to this global networking party where we introduce everyone. And if I was to ask you hey, who do you want to meet? I don't think you'd identify a Holocaust survivor or a nonlinear specialist, but when you spend 10 minutes with them in a breakout room, you're more likely to follow up. And so we're finding now that we're hosting these networking events, people come back. And we're just launching a subscription fee right now called Meet the World's People that gets you one session a month if you commit to meeting people from different backgrounds, different countries, different industries, etc. So we're building in repeatable demand on the B2C side. But on the B2B side, it's really nice because the demand supply match is there. So for example, the universities, we're going to the alumni and asking them to gift 10 hours a year. Okay. And they all typically say yes, because that's a pretty nominal ask. And then we gather that and then we work with the universities and say, why don't you make it? We eventually want to make it mandatory. In order to graduate, every student needs to have 10 conversations. So we're matching the demand and supply every year at the university. So that one is consistent. It's kind of baked in. And on the B2C side, we're working on it through a business model. We figured if we build a demand side business model that subscribes you, just like Audible, you pay $15 a month, you get a credit, you go get a book. Pick My Brain, you pay $15 a month, you get a credit, you go have a conversation. And you just keep doing that because you want to expand your perspective.
Awesome. Ethan, do you have any questions for Maxine?
Can I steal one from OG Arabian Prince? He uses. I got a question. Yeah. So there's been platforms like this in the past, and like Clarity and things like that. I think it's really cool. I used to do it on Clarity, and I always loved the experience. Do you see things going more towards the B2B side or the B2C side? And like, why did the thing like past platforms on the B2C side not work?
So yeah, Clarity is great. They validated that people pay for knowledge per minute. And I think that they reached a cap, which is why they sold to Fundable for $40 million, because they focus on business professionals. But if they had taken their tech and said, listen, every industry can do this, I think they would have had a huge opportunity for growth. And I see more growth opportunity with the B2B side, because think about it. One university, we're going to a vetted pool. We're onboarding like 30,000 in the world. And then the students are getting comfortable knowing that they can go ask industry questions. So that's like quite a movement. That's like a future of education. And then once we have 1 million people on Pick My Brain, we want to go to the 85 million teachers that exist and be like, hey, dear teachers, why don't you get a subscription to Pick My Brain so that you can bring in anyone into the classroom on demand? Right? Clarity didn't take it the next step. They were a tool that made it easy to sell your knowledge. Pick My Brain is like a making the world people more accessible. It's like more of a movement. But like, imagine if your teacher, right, is teaching about history and they can bring in a Holocaust survivor via the click of a button, or they're teaching about science and they can go to Pick My Brain and find a NASA astronaut to come into the classroom to ask questions. That's a game changer in education. So I think those platforms, they stopped at tool. They didn't take it further. And we're like, no, this has got to be like an ethos. It's got to be as normal to go have a session with a stranger because you know it makes you a better human being, as drinking a glass of water because you know that is good for you as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, guys, what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to bring the judges back in 1 sec, but I'm just going to remove the judges and add the pitch companies just for one final wrap here. Now, normally, actually, before I go, so we're a little bit over time. We're at 3:15 my time, so I don't know where time zone everybody else is in, but it's 1/4. Normally, what we would do is we would go top 2 and then ask additional questions. Or do you want to go straight because we have an extra pitch company? I don't know how everybody's time is. We can just have it so you vote on your top 2 and then we pick. Any preference?
Whatever you think. You the boss.
You guys tell me about your time.
Wait, you're not the boss. Where is she at?
No, she's gone. she's flying to, make the donuts and. Is everybody okay for time? If we have another little bit of time for questions,
that's fine.
Okay, so then what we've done is I'm gonna bring the pitch companies on just to thank them all and showcase them again. In the meantime, if you guys look in the private chat, there is a form, a Google form. If you can click that, you should see all 6 pitch companies. And I think what we want to do is pick your 2. And then Noah's going to come back and let us know who the final 2 are, or if we need a tiebreaker on my part, which I hope we don't. But I know it's very tough. We had some amazing pitches. So you guys, any questions? Yeah, they were all excellent.
Yeah, there honestly wasn't one that bombed or wasn't ready. They did an incredible job.
Yeah, nice pick.
Great feedback. All right, so I'm going to take you guys off for just 1 second, and I'll bring you back in a sec. Give you a chance to do the survey. I'm going to bring the pitch companies on. And Ethan keeps moving. All right, so let's start here with Matt.
Hey.
One of the many Marinellas. We had Abdul and Leah. Let's see. I got Dana. Where'd Dana go? Is Dana still here? Oh, there she is. And then, Marinella. He's got so many Marinellas. I cannot keep track of all of your. Did I miss anybody? If I got everybody, I think I've got
Marinella's. Your last pitch too was also named Marinella. No. Who pitched last?
Maxine,
sorry. Maxine, your line about sorry, this broke me. Your line was so good. Your line about they asked for our money but not our time.
The university.
Sorry, I went to Wharton and they're sitting on an $11 billion endowment and they're asking me for money. It gets me
I know.
I'll give to Ukraine or something,
Well, Dana's here. You can give
right? And they asked me.
Exactly, yeah.
All right, well, I just want to echo what the. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Maxine.
Go ahead. No, I was just gonna say they asked me for money the year after I graduated. I was like, what
No,
do you
yeah,
mean?
No, they started before
Anyways.
we graduated. They're like, if you just give $5, it helps us in our ratings game for USA Today. I'm like, come on, man. Like, I just spent a lot of money on this.
All right, so I want to echo what the judges said. Thank you so much to everybody. All the pitches were excellent, and kudos to Noah. If he's, I don't know if I'm going to put you on screen for a second, Noah. Noah, thank you for organizing this, and I know we didn't get to have a lot of FaceTime with Noah. He was hustling around getting all the judges and getting all the pitch companies, and then we had some last-minute mix-ups. And as Abdul said, we got stonked. So
That's a good one.
The coin of the night was from Abdul before the broadcast, where we know we were originally planning to do this, but the good news about this is we obviously have the video is on YouTube, it's on Twitter, it's on LinkedIn. We have a large list, and we're going to promote this as much as we can. We want to book as many meetings for you guys as we can. Think about one thing from our perspective. We are debating: do we create our own pitch platform? And we're gonna solicit this from venture studios and accelerators that were kind of affected the same way we were. You can see it's a little tricky when it's not meant for a pitch competition, when it's not set up. We're dealing with StreamYard, their format, which is not bad, but think about it. Would it be beneficial to have a place called, let's call it, we have a domain, for example, it's demo.day, where you could go put your first product offering up, get people to vote with their money so they can become early adopter customers or supporters. And then you could also participate in accelerator or angel or venture studio pitch events to then present your traction and everything you just did. So if you think that's a good idea, we would love feedback from you on that. We have a series of dinners coming up. The first one is February the 15th in New York. So Leah, I don't know if it doesn't sound like you're around, though. You're in Miami though. We're going to do an event in Miami apparently in June. That might be a little hot, but if you're still there. Matt, where are you?
Oh,
I didn't know.
you'd have to go to Miami? Oh
my God. So
what a nightmare, man.
So I think with our good partners, Pacific Western Bank, we have events in Miami, apparently Atlanta. We have one in Boston. We have LA, New York, and San Francisco coming up. And then I think Austin as well. And we were talking about doing something in Nashville. So if you're in any of those markets or you have another one to suggest, let us know. I don't think we're going to do Pakistan. Are you going to come back, Maxine? Or
eventually? Although you guys,
I'm like,
the global south is happening. There's a lot of action down here, I must say.
You're in Karachi? Are you in?
I'm in Karachi right now. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Amazing. All right. We've given the judges a chance. How are we doing, Noah? Are we?
Yep. I think all the judges have answered. So the results are in. Okay, I just go ahead and say it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go for
so
it.
The two pitch companies that they've chosen is Maxine from Pick My Brain and Dana from Gametree.
Oh, wow. Okay, great. All right. So thank you to everybody. We're going to continue to work with you to try and book meetings with you with appropriate people that will help you in your startup journey. Thank you to Marinella. If I can figure out how to remove you. Let's see. Oh, geez, you got so many things, Marinella. What am I going to do with you here? This is wrong. Okay, Marinella. I'm going to bring back Amber. And then Leah, thank you so much. Hopefully we'll see you soon. And Abdul, thank you so much. We will see you soon. I'm going to put Ethan back into the stream. So do I have the right people on? Is Dana? Dana, are you there even? I don't know if she's there. She might have put us in bystander mode. Let me just message Dana. Yeah, she's multitasking maybe. Let's see. You might win by default, Maxine. Wrong. Is there a third place we can bump Dana?
She's got to be there. She's got to come.
She's typing back.
Showdown. Maybe she. Okay.
She might be. Make me top one. Well, you got to make yourself top one. Make yourself top one. So you got to jump back on, Dana, if you want to answer questions and potentially be top one. Did I put OG back in? Where's he? Oh, there he is. I'm sorry. There we go.
Oh, guys, I'm sorry.
Lost you for good. Okay, so who is on that shouldn't be on? Who is this?
Might be one of Marinella's things.
Oh, it's there we go. Okay, I'm gonna remove you, Noah, if you're okay with
Yeah,
that.
go ahead.
Thank you, Noah, so much. You did so much work to get this together. And
No
we have
problem.
another pitch event, by the way, everybody, on February the 28th. Normally we don't do 2 a month, but we are stacked 2. And then we'll have another one in March. So if you or your friends want to be a judge and you are a VC or angel, let Noah know. Or if you have great pitch companies, we would love to hear from them.
I actually have a friend who's like investor and he looking for companies to invest. So I might recommend him.
Let's
I'll just
connect
put my
with them.
email in the chat and you.
Oh my God, who did I pull out? I pulled the wrong person out. I got Ethan, Amber, Dana. Where's Maxine? Did she fall off? Oh my God, I'm so bad.
It's late in Pakistan.
All right, sorry, that was my fault. That was not hers. Sorry, hold on. I'm gonna thank you, Noah, for everything. I'll see you later. Okay, whew, that was really complicated. Noah's got to push the buttons next time.
Thank you guys so much for paying attention to each of us. I know it's not really easy to be like focused for like hours.
We got a little time here. All right, so why don't we start with Amber, and we will start with Dana since Dana was up on top next to her. Do you have any additional questions for Dana, Amber?
Let me see. I guess I'm curious. You mentioned you're raising 2.5 million, and you have 1 million left. What do you plan to use the funds on?
So I can share with you more sophisticated roadmap. In a big picture, we have a big demand from our users in a lot of improvement in the ad. So one of the things that we're working Overwolf, they have this unique technology of overlay games. So what is actually allow us to do? If you does somebody play games here?
OG definitely does.
Oh yeah. So in massive multiplayer games, or like just in multiplayer games, if you play it online, you open the game and in-game matching system put you in the group, usually with random people. What we're gonna do, we will have overlay game looking for group bottom. You just open any game and you click our bottom, and you not play with random people anymore, but you play with people who our AI will predict you will like. And it can be people who have common friends. It can be people who you already played before. And basically our AI creates some sort of bubble from your friends and community around each person, which basically means that like if you play games over time, you're going to play with the same people, and it make you feel like you in the community, you have a friends online and stuff like that. So we already have calling, and now we just launched our desktop app, and there's a lot of feature that we need to add. And as I mentioned, we have only 20,000 in marketing spends total. So first, our priority is going to be a product. We going to develop a lot of feature that in our roadmap. So around 65% of use of fund is going to be product, and around like 35 or 40, 35 will be for marketing campaign. Yeah, we want to host online tournament for gaming community and stuff like that.
Super. Why don't we go to Ethan, who's just below Amber? Do you have any questions for Dana?
I'm just kind of curious, like what that world looks like when this is at scale in terms of your 400,000 users now and your 50 million users. What it looks like
I can actually share with you our tour in our Android and iOS app. If you want, I can write in the chat to just give you an overview. Basically, we have like very gamified gamers profile. You can transfer your achievements through different games. You can transfer your friends list. You can basically want to be like that home for gamers, like that corner on internet when all gamers can collect they experience through different games and platforms, because now it's literally in whole internet. There's no place like that. And gamers, it's a big market. It's like 3.2 billion gamers. And just to create picture how big gaming market is, it's 5 times bigger than music market, and it's twice bigger than movie market. So it's basically huge. And in whole market, there's no space when gamer can transfer their achievements, their levels, their badges through different platforms and games, because there's huge barriers between big studios. They not really cooperate with each others. And like a streaming platform, you have Netflix, you have Disney, and they not really communicate. Gaming is like 10 times worse than that. And we will allow our users to create like universal gamer profile through different platforms and system.
Cool. OG, do you have any questions for Dana?
Yeah. So I'm still trying to, I haven't actually seen the platform. Are you guys working directly with some of the game developers yet?
So we support actually all games and all platforms. We have few agreements with the games that didn't come up yet about to create a curation system for them. We don't have our own like games on the platform, but what do we have? All user experience in the platform very gamified, because gamers get used to all of this level, experience point, achievements, different funny avatars and stuff like that. So that's what we do have, and you can level up in the platforms. If we see that you like cooperative, you can earn achievements and badges from making friends from different countries or making friends with a different personality type. We also educate our gamers how to communicate with each other better and how to accept different peoples, which is great because a lot of gamers kind of need these social skills. So we also educate them in personal psychology way, try to help them understand themselves better and understand other people and accept variety of different gamers. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dana. All right, why don't we, I don't know, I'm terrible at ordering this. So why don't we start with OG from Maxine. Do you have any questions for Maxine?
Yeah. Okay. For Maxine, how do I get involved so people can start paying me money for my ideas? Information. I got a lot of stuff in my brain.
$10,000, OG.
So basically, my question is, what is the process? Like, what is the process for somebody to be involved on the other side?
Become a brain. So you'd go to www.pickmybrain.world, you'd click start a profile, and you would start to build your profile, which is like, again, LinkedIn does a really good job at showing off our resumes. Pick My Brain does a really good job at showing off all of the knowledge that we have. So you choose your knowledge tags, your IMA tags, because you're often more than just one thing. You choose how you want to help and be of service, what you want to learn more about, and then you submit that profile for review. And our team kind of looks it over for completion. If we think it's good, we push you live, and then our team will book a one-on-one call with you so you can feel the tool out. We can have a conversation with you. We kind of do we help you unlock offers that you might want to sell, depending on what you're most interested in providing. And then you are live on the marketplace and good to go. Anyone in the world can book you, and both for free and paid sessions. And then you can come to our networking events and we'll show you off there as well.
Got it. Thank you.
Amazing. Amber, do you have any questions?
Oh, I hope that's coming through. My internet okay?
Yep.
You're good.
Yeah, I don't think I have any other questions on this one. I think it makes a lot of sense.
Ethan, you get the final question of the day.
I'm excited about the B2B side of this, but I'm curious, like on the B2C side, like the company I built in the past was one of the very first crowdfunding platforms, and we started with every different category. And within a year, we realized that the people who were using it were for medical expenses. And then GoFundMe came out, and 50% of their revenue came from medical expenses. And when Udemy launched, I think 80% of their initial revenue was people looking up how to pitch and how to raise capital. Are you seeing things gravitate towards certain communities, or do you think it's going to stay broad and just like disparate?
Yeah, good question. Right now it is maintained very broad, and we intentionally do that as well. We like build partnerships. So we have a partnership to onboard the world's Olympians, the world's Nobel laureates, the world's Indigenous elders, the top, like we're going after some lists, like the top 30 of Forbes. So we can pull by building relationships with different communities to keep it diverse. I hope this is still coming through. But the range is still good. Yeah. Okay. Range on Pick My Brain is so fascinating. There is the youngest person that's ever booked me on Pick My Brain was 5 years old. She wanted to be an entrepreneur and a CEO, and she grew up and her mom found my profile, and that was like the most inspiring call ever. All the way up to the oldest brain who's actually selling her knowledge is 84. She's the Holocaust survivor. And the most popular brains are actually, you wouldn't even be able to, I haven't been able to like hypothesize it. It's really people who actively just go on their LinkedIn and say, dear community, I am here if you want to talk about mental health. I'm here if you want to talk about startups. I'm here if you want to talk about neurodiversity. Every brain that our top 3 brains that have done over 500 bookings, they go on their LinkedIn every week and just continuously let their community know that they are there to help. And they've done like 500 bookings in something like 3 to 6 months. It's crazy, the demand that kind of comes in when people allow you to know that they're giving you permission to come in. So yeah, if you look at the categories on Pick My Brain, anything from artists to psychology to business to historians to linguistics, and we want it to be that because we all know diversity is so important, but diversity is actually so hard to access. Where do I go on the internet to have a conversation with someone outside my generation or my industry or my culture or my country? The entire internet is algorithmed and AI'd to send me things that I click on. We're trying to do the opposite. Pick My Brain's algorithm is going to be like, you know what? We think you should have a conversation with someone from Russia right now to expand your global perspective and increase your humanity. And that's our Meet the World's People program. So we haven't seen any trends yet. And we'll keep building partnerships with groups that we want to have representation with, like the Indigenous Elder Group, really cool partnership to make sure that they've got, opportunity to share their knowledge.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dana and Maxine. Just battling through. So you're having problems with the form, Ethan? Let me see what's
I
going
can't. It says I need permission.
Oh shoot! Hold on. Let me just, Noah. Let me just message Noah. Permission.
I can do like Morse code.
I don't know Morse code. That's the only problem.
I don't know it. No one knows Morse code. Come on. Probably someone on Pick My Brain. Find someone. Learn that skill.
Hold on. Let's see. I'm gonna bring. Is Noah still in here? Noah, you need to unlock the form so everybody can.
Fixed it.
You did. Okay. Good. Thanks, Noah. All right. Everybody's a winner here, though, by the way. Of course, we love to continue to stay in touch with everybody. And we want to make sure that we help you, whatever you're looking for, as far as like whether investors or customers. So we're going to have actually, this is, I think the first time we've done this in a while, but we're going to have on March the 14th, a virtual event. So we will have an air meet. I wouldn't mind doing, I don't know, what are you using Zoom for your events, right, Maxine? Yeah. Okay. So the difference is air meet is kind of neat because it's tables. So you basically can pop around and meet different people in there. So we're going to invite YC founders, Techstar founders, VCs and angels that we have in our group, as well as anyone that's a member and anyone that's a pitch company or a past judge. So if you guys are available, we'd love to have you. Is there anything that I haven't touched on from any of the judges? Is there anything you guys need to promote before we go to who the final winner of the winner takes all is? Amber, do you have anything going on that you want to promote?
Off the top of my head, not exactly. But yeah, I'm really excited to meet all of you.
Thank you. Likewise, we would love to see you in person too. So we'll have to figure that out. Ethan, how about you? Anything going on that you need people to know about, or any final words?
Yeah, you can go to my profile on www.pickmybrain.com/Ethan. And I'm kidding. I haven't signed up yet. But no, this was a lot of fun. Thanks for having me.
Can we find your gamer profile on Gametree?
Oh my God, I
I'm
would
gonna
like
start
to.
gaming now.
So actually,
Yeah.
something that's really cool, that personality test, you can sign up just to like fulfill this personality test and see like a little bit more information about you, like about your value system, about like what kind of, we have really strong game recommendations. So even if you're not playing the games, maybe we can recommend you something that you'll be excited to.
That's a good idea. And what we'll do at the end of this, everybody will get an email with everybody else's contacts, so you can schedule meetings with everybody.
Perfect.
And then if there's some other way that you can't reach somebody, just let us know and we'll connect you guys. OG, any final things that you want to let people know about, or that they should that you want some help with, or anything?
They can always catch me at OG Arabian Prince. I always love being a part of these things. It's amazing, and always love to help.
Awesome. All right, Noah, am I bringing you back on, or what am I doing here?
Yeah, you can if you'd like.
No, are you? Okay, you're on. Do you want to?
So far, I only see 2 responses, and it's
okay.
50-50 for each. So whoever didn't respond yet, you're the.
Did you get mine? I did it from from another email. Did you get mine?
It doesn't show me who did it. Oh, now I have 3 responses. Okay.
Okay, you got it now. Okay.
Do we need a drum roll? I don't know if we have one. How does this work? Let's see. What do we got?
That's awesome.
I got a swoosh. Hold on here.
We should just share it, Dana.
I love the sound effects on this.
Yeah, I'll get the hang of it. All right, Noah, do you want to come on camera and announce it, or what do you want to do?
Yep. All right, so the winner of our Winner Takes All event for February 7th is Dana from Gametree. Congratulations,
Dana. Amazing. All right, Dana, you are the winner this
guys.
Out of 6 companies. That's crazy.
I think it's not like I win it, but I believe that like what we're doing is actually crazy important, because if you think about like a lot of people who not close with the gaming market or not play games, they not really see like a lot of problems that's going on over there, and especially against like female gamers. Like I know a lot of pro female gamers that will never be picked up for a professional team just because they're a girl. To be honest, it's insane. And it's not like somebody's wrong or right. It's just mostly wrong people play together. And what we're doing is like we measure and find the best group for you. Like we measure your value system to be sure that casual gamers not play with competitive gamers, or we measure like your like value system. And we just we're receiving a lot of messages from users like, guys, you changed my life. I meet my best friend over here. I living like life that I've never thought I could have. And for gamers, it's like a big deal because we can spend like hours online with our friends over there. And it's not just wasting of time. It's a meaningful time for us because you spend it with the people who you love. So thank you so much. I believe that people who decide that it's worth it, it's just like people who really try to help a lot of young gamers to become better people.
Amazing. Congratulations, Dana. Congratulations, Maxine. Congratulations to all the companies. I think they were all excellent pitches, and there's a lot of really interesting stuff going on. So thank you so much to all the judges, and thank you to my wife for actually commenting a lot. She had like all the great comments.
Yeah, it was a great sidebar. Like tonight.
I was like, oh, well, I got to put those on the screen. So, all right, everyone. So thank you so much. We will make sure to include you in all of our upcoming events. Our next pitch event is February the 28th. Invite your friends, your mom, your cat. Actually, speaking of cat, while I was sitting here, I got up in the middle of it because a cat walked in my house. And I'm like, wait, that's not, I don't have a cat here. So if you saw me leave, that's because there was a husky and then a cat. And the cat, they don't live together normally. All right, everybody, thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you at the next event. And we
organizing that.
Great job, guys. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Good job, everyone.
Nice to see you all.